Autumn by Alice Cary, 1820 to 1871. Shorter and shorter now the twilight clips the days, as through the sunset gates they crowd, and summer from her golden collar slips and strays through stubble-fields and moans aloud. Save when by fits the warmer air deceives, and stealing hopeful to some sheltered bower, she lies on pillows of the yellow leaves, and tries the old tunes over for an hour. The wind whose tender whisper in the May set all the young blooms listening through the grove, sits rustling in the faded boughs today, and makes his cold and unsuccessful love. The rose has taken off her tire of red, the mullein-stalk its yellow stars have lost, and the proud meadow-pink hangs down her head against earth's chilly bosom, witched with frost. The robin, that was busy all the June, before the sun had kissed the topmost boughs, catching our hearts up in his golden tune, has given place to the brown cricket now. The very cock crows lonesomely at morn, each flag and fern the shrinking stream divides, uneasy cattle low, and lambs forlorn creep to their strawy sheds with nettled sides. Shut up the door, who loves me must not look upon the withered world, but haste to bring his lighted candle and his story book, and live with me the poetry of spring. Okay, this is a poem by Alice Cary. Okay, Alice Cary was an American poet. She came from Ohio, and she was quite famous. Her language is normally quite simple, and she's focusing on the world around her, and very often with moral stories as well. However, this poem, Autumn, this is it's just a lyric poem describing autumn, describing how the movement of the seasons, how the seasons come on. Shorter and shorter now the twilight clips the days, as through the sunset gates they crowd. So she starts with this enjambment, that this line, it carries over into the next line, and it brings your eye down into the poem. So it's leading you into the poem. And then she goes on with a simile, and the shorter days are, it's as if the days are getting shorter. They're crowding through the gates of sunset. The days are getting shorter. They are going through the sunset of the year, the end of the year, and summer from her golden collar slips, and summer escapes from her collar of gold. And this is a metaphor that summer is no longer wearing its golden collar. Summer has gone, and strays through stubble fields and moans aloud. So summer, although what was of summer, you can still see the gold in the fields of stubble of the stalks after the harvest has been cut. And summer has gone. Summer is moaning aloud that this is the end of summer. Summer is dead. Save when by fits the warmer air deceives, except for some days when you have some lovely summery days still in autumn, and stealing hopeful to some sheltered bower, she lies on pillows of the yellow leaves and tries the old tunes over for an hour. So this is personification of the sun, or the summer. The summer, it has a lovely warm autumn day, and summer goes to some sheltered area, some hidden place, and she lies on the yellow leaves of autumn that have fallen, and summer is singing the tunes that made the summer so beautiful for a while. And this is a summer day, so summer is repeating itself, or it's some sort of little repeat at the end. The wind whose tender whisper in the May set all the young blossoms listening through the grove, sits rustling in the faded boughs today and makes his cold and unsuccessful love. So the wind, which in May was warm and whispered gently, and in May all of the blooms and the flowers moved in the winds of May, and everything was listening to the wind. But now it's autumn and the wind is not the same. The wind is rustling through the boughs, the rustling of the leaves, and makes his cold and unsuccessful love. So now the wind is not loving. It's not the loving, gentle, beautiful wind of May. This is the wind of autumn, which can be very cold. This is the beginning of the winds of winter. And here she's personified the wind. The rose has taken off her tire of red. So the rose has taken off her red colour. The mullein-stalk its yellow stars have lost. A mullein is a verbascum. I would call this rabbit tobacco. It's a very tall plant with yellow flowers, maybe up to 2 meters tall. So it's lost all of its yellow flowers, its yellow stars. It's a nice metaphor as well. And the proud meadow-pink hangs down her head against the earth's chilly bosom, witched with frost. And the meadow-pink, another flower, this, instead of putting its head up towards the sun, is hanging down, because the earth is hanging down against the breast of the earth, because the earth has been witched, has been given the evil spell of frost, of cold. So here the flowers have lost their colours, their energy, their beauty. And here she's personified the flowers. And Earth's chilly bosom, that's another personification as well. The robin that was busy all the June, before the sun had kissed the topmost bough, catching our hearts up in his golden tune, has given place to the brown cricket now. So the robin, which was busy making his nest and feeding his babies, before the summer had come, and our hearts were caught by the beauty of the robin's song. The robin is not there, and now we have the crickets. Now it's the end of the year. The very cock crows lonesomely at morn. So the sound of the cock crow, cock-a-doo-doo-doo, it sounds very lonely in the morning. Each flag and fern the shrinking stream divides. So the stream is full of flag irises and full of ferns. These are plants, but the stream has been shrinking. It's been getting smaller and smaller. Uneasy cattle low and lambs forlorn creep to their strawy beds, their strawy sheds with nettled sides. So the cattle's low, and and the lambs are forlorn. The lambs are alone because the mothers are no longer looking after the lambs, and the lambs go back to their strawy shed, their shed of straw, their place of straw, and there are nettles. There are nettles that grow on the sides of the shed where the lambs live. Shut up the door. Who loves me must not look upon the withered world, but haste to bring his lighted candle and his storybook, and live with me the poetry of spring. So, shut up the door. Shut the door. Shut out the world, because winter is coming. If you love me, don't look upon the world that is disappearing, is withering. But come with me with a candle and your storybook, and let's read poetry about the spring. Let's read about the beauties of spring while the winter goes, while we leave winter. So, Autumn by Alice Cary.